Hello and welcome. This is Learning English, a channel with a difference. I am Prashant. I'm an English teacher. In the previous episode on learning English through conversations, we learned how to make requests. If you missed that episode, you will find the link in the description box and you can watch it. This is the second episode on the same topic in that series. How did we do in the previous episode? We picked up a conversation and analyzed that conversation. When we analyzed that conversation, we learned new words. We learned expressions to use to make request, and we learned some grammar at the same time. In this episode 2, we are going to take up a conversation, read, analyze that conversation, and understand some more aspects of it. What are we focusing today? We are today focusing on how to greet people and take leave after talking. This will be very interesting. For that, we will study a conversation first. This takes place at a doctor's shop. A conversation between patient and doctor. Let us read this. Good evening, doctor. Good evening, sir. What is your matter? I haven't been feeling well lately. What exactly is the trouble? I had a lot of pain in the stomach for 3 days. How's your appetite? I feel full up all the time. Did you have any fever? Not really. I just feel like that. All right, let me check. After checking, the patient asks, I hope there is nothing serious, doctor. No, nothing serious. I am prescribing 2 kinds of tablets and do take some rest. Do I need to stay away from others, doctor? No, there is nothing to panic about. Take it easy. Thank you very much, doctor. Goodbye. Bye. This is the conversation between these two. Let us understand the conversation. Where does the conversation take place between whom? It takes place at a doctor's shop and between a patient and a doctor. How did the patient deal with the doctor, or how did the doctor deal with the patient? What kind of a situation this is? Let me tell you, the secret of a successful communication or a conversation is to understand the situation. What does it mean? It means whether you are speaking in a formal situation or in informal situation, this much classification should be done. If you are talking to a principal, if you are a student and talking to the principal, if you are a student and talking to the teacher, a subordinate talking to the managing director, if you are talking to a district commissioner, if you are talking to a minister, if you are talking to people in the higher authorities, so you have to be formal with them. So that is a formal situation. What is informal situation? Informal situation is when you are talking to your friend, you are talking to your mother, father, your relatives, your neighbor, a stranger. So this is an informal situation. If we understand this much, whether we are speaking in a formal situation or informal situation, we will have to choose expressions accordingly. This is the secret of being right, being correct in conversations or in communication, because it is very important to understand the situation. We speak at a variety of situations, but we have to understand what should be the appropriate language in that particular situation that we are speaking in. Right. Let us see some words as we did in the previous episode. Lately, in the recent past. Lately. I have been not feeling lately, the patient says. What does it mean lately? In the recent past. How is your appetite? Asked the doctor. What is appetite? A desire for food. I feel full up, doctor, the patient says. Full up means completely full, not feeling hungry. Stay away. Should I stay away? Avoid. Don't panic, says the doctor. Don't panic. Sudden uncomfortable fear. Don't fear. Take it easy. Don't worry too much. Take it easy. Don't worry too much. When we read a conversation like that, and we have to identify the words that we really don't know, try to learn them at the same time. You improve your vocabulary. Let us focus on communication skill. What are the functions of the language in this conversation? In this conversation we saw that greeting and leave taking. Good evening, doctor. Good evening, sir. Goodbye, bye. That is the greeting and leave taking expressions. When we meet somebody, it is important to greet somebody before you start your conversation. What happens most of the times, we directly start talking to people or throw the matter right on them. We don't even wish them, or we don't even exchange these greetings with one another. That is not the correct way of starting a conversation. Start a conversation with an appropriate greeting. That is, once again, whether you are in a formal situation or informal situation, and you have to choose your greeting according to that. In informal situation, you can say hi to greet somebody. Hello, you can say how do you do. Hey, you can say hey there. You might have heard a lot of people saying that. Hi there, just like that. This is an informal situation. In a formal situation, suppose you are talking to a principal or to a registrar or to the authorities or to the managing director. If you are a subordinator, then you can't really say hi to the managing director. So we have to be aware of the situation that we are speaking in. So the communicating or the skills that we have to develop or we learn through this conversation is to greet people and take leave. It is important to use expressions to take leave. What happens most of the times, we speak or we start the conversation abruptly without a greeting, and we end the conversation and we go away from the place after the conversation is over without saying goodbye or using appropriate expressions to take leave. So it is very important to take leave by using appropriate expressions and greet people using appropriate expressions. If you are meeting somebody in the morning in a formal situation, you have to say good morning. If you are meeting somebody in the afternoon, you have to say good afternoon. If you are meeting somebody in the evening, you have to say good evening. These are the formal expressions for a formal situation. You can't say bye-bye in a formal situation. You have to say goodbye while you are taking leave. Okay, then how to practice? Let us do it. What will you say in the following situations? You meet a friend of your own age. First, identify whether it is a formal situation or informal situation. Of course, it's an informal situation. You meet the senior manager of the office where you work as a junior. Of course, this is a formal situation. Do you say hi here? No. You can't say hi or hello. You have to use appropriate expression, either good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever. You take leave of your friend. You would say bye-bye, cheer, bye, something like that. When you take leave of the members of an interviewing committee, after your interview is over, how do you take leave? You say bye. No, you can't do that because that shows a very bad manner of yours. So you have to take or use appropriate expressions. Must say goodbye, pleasure talking to you, nice to be interviewed, something like that. So find out more and more situations like this. Put yourself in imaginary situations, practice on your own, and imagine that you are talking to somebody, and this can be done, or you can take up any ready-made conversations and identify new words and identify the expressions Use those expressions in your day-to-day communication or conversations. That will make your conversation interesting, because the secret of a good or a successful conversation is to understand the situation, use expressions accordingly, aptly. So we meet in another episode. Thanks for watching.